Okay, I am back with a very quick video. Um, Today's date is interesting, and I wanted to just go through some stuff that's on the $1 bill, including a hidden 9/11 reference right in the $1 bill, and there's a couple of other dates that we can pick out from this fold that I've done before on the $1 bill, right? So if you look at the $1 bill, and let's just look at a big picture of it. So we've got the $1 bill, and we've got a shield up in this corner, okay, and we've got some sort of laurel leaf type stuff growing up around it here, and we've got a thing that kind of O with it looks like a curly tail. Could be, you could interpret this as being several things, which I have in the past, but I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to think I'm showing you the actual intended meaning here now. Maybe. It seems to make logical sense to me anyway. So I'm going to go to show you the fold, right? So you can fold that half, that end of the bill over onto this end here, right? And what you want to do when you do that fold, hang on a minute, this bloody thing. Come on. Should just not have this quite so big. That little owl, the Illuminati owl that sits up here, if you make your fold right here, along this edge of this shield, right by Mr. Illuminati here, and fold it up onto the other side, you will end up with something looking like this, okay? Now, there's several dates and numbers in here, and as I just saying, this is 8/11, today's date, right? If it is today's date, we need a reference. We need another cross-reference to this date, right? And what we have here is where this comes down with this funny little tail. I've said this could be a D or 9 or 6 or all kinds of other things, right? But if you keep it up this way and you look at it, this could very well be a P, okay? And if this is a P and this is an I, if the shield makes an I, if you flip it around the other way, this looks like a 1 and a 0. It looks like a 10, the number 10. But if you look at it this way around, it kind of just looks like a P and an I going around surrounding the 11. So I've got pi, right? This thing, pi. Okay? Yeah, Elvis's haircut, the chops, the hairdo. It's the Hoover Dam. This is the dam, the two legs coming off the bottom of the dam here. The 314. We got the CRM in here. We got the 31, the 13 in here. So a lot of these references to the first like 4 digits of pi at least, or even the first 5 digits of pi, and on, I guess. It's interesting, some of these numbers that we've been kind of tracking the last several videos that I've done. Well, actually, all the way back to last year, if a lot of this stuff overlaps with what I initially started talking about. So that's pretty interesting. On the dollar bill, we've got this reference to pi here. Well, and we've got this 1110 reference. Well, let's go to the calendar date thing again. Go to this thing. Because if we look at where 1110 is, so November the 10th, that happens to correspond with pi again. Because it's the 314th day of the year. Super interesting. And so the 8/11, well, do we need a reference to make sure this is the right 8/11 that we're looking at here? So if we go back to the big picture now, right, and we go to this other end, we've got, I don't know if you can see this, but we've got, get that up a bit, this would be hidden, right, and on the other side, let me just tell you this, this part would be hidden. So we're excluding those parts for a minute, right? Because they are hidden with the crease. It creases. It comes along somewhere here, and the part of the shield forms this part of the circle, okay, this O. Now, if we count the laurel leaves or whatever they are, we've got 2 up here, and then we've got a 3, and then we've got a 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, right? So we need a reference. Now, if I had my chart up, I would say 3, 2, 1 is the countdown date, and that is in the Lucas row of numbers in that chart of Lorraine. But I want to look and see if this somehow references this 811 here. So let's go and look at the calendar again, and let's look at 811. 811. Here's 811. Let's look at 811, and lo and behold, we have 312. Okay, so those numbers, yeah, those numbers are right here in the day of the year again. So we've had the pi reference right here, and we've had now we've had the 811 or the November the 11th reference with the 312 on that side. Let's go look at what's on the shield side of, so on this other shield side here, let's go look at this. So we've got the shield side. We're omitting that again. We're not looking at that for a minute because the fold comes down here. And so we've got here, we've got 2. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big leaves. And then this is a bit deceptive if you just look at a dollar bill if you're counting this up. You need to magnify it a little bit because there happens to be another berry underneath here. So we've actually got 4 berries in total. So we've now got 2, 5, and a 4. So let's go see if that references any of those dates. Okay, 2, 5, and a 4 doesn't appear to reference any of these dates here. But we have a date in between this 811 and the 1011 that we've just looked at, and it's 911, the 9th of November. Okay, well, that isn't 254 or 245 or anything to do with those numbers, right? So let's go and now explore you know where I'm going. I'm going up to September, and let's look at actually what 911 was. Go to 911, and lo and behold, yes, you cannot write this stuff. It's official. We got the 254, right? And we've got the triple leg again, yeah, the trilon again. And I'll link back to the trilon in a minute, but because there's an interesting thing coming out here in a few days. So we got this. We got the 111. So we got the reference to the trilon or the triscallion, the 3 legs into 1. And again, we've got the 254 that's in the dollar bill. So that's really interesting. But it doesn't stop there, because the things that we covered up, so the parts that we covered up here that you can't see, let's look at the big picture again so we can see what we covered up. So we covered up this here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 1. So we've got 51 right here that we covered up. Let's see if a 51 shows up somewhere. So what we've covered up is a 51. And let's go back down now to November. That would be a good idea, Dan. Let's see if we look. Lo and behold, again, on the 10th of November, we have that 51 showing up. Super interesting. So what else do we have? On the other side of there, I don't know if I need to go to this, but on the other side, we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by itself. So we just have a 5, which happens to be, what does the 5 reference? The 5 references 1111. That's interesting. The day after this thing. That's actually 1111 is, of course, the end of the world at the end of World War One. So, you know, World War One. I don't know. an interesting bunch of numbers in there, you know. And of course, 7/11 this year, again, this re-references back to 9/11. I don't know if it's becoming apparent to people just how many references through the calendar year double back on themselves, cross-reference with other dates. There's a reason why they've got this kind of spider web design on the $1 bill. It's because reality it spider webs together pretty good. I don't know. So is anything going to happen on these days? Who knows? But we do have those references in there. So really, I mean, that's about the end of it. But this 7/11, let's just go to 7/11, right? So we've got the 113 again. You know, the front of the train in Back to the Future 131. And that 131 also, I'm not going to go into it today, but there's a code in Back to the Future with the Arecibo Observatory. If you want to see that, put a comment and I'll do the video. But if not, I'm not going to worry about it. But that date, 131, and the way it's coded in Back to the Future can also lead you to January the 31st. Maybe I'll do that another day. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked on that. But this 7/11, let's just look at what was 7/11. Okay, so the clocks changed. So we have daylight savings time ending, basically, on the 7th. Again, interesting, because the counterpart to that day, when the clocks spring forward, right, is March the 14th, Pi Day again, Mother and Sunday in England again, 314. So we got these two dates connected pretty good. And of course, this is a 9/7, which is, if you go to my chart of Lorraine, I'm not going to get it up, but in the pi row, that's the ninth column down is 9/7, which is kind of reflected with 76 in the Lucas row as well. So it's just amazing, just absolutely amazing how much these numbers cross-reference one another. Another little number that will be coming up here in a few days' time, which is kind of cross-references back again, is this Ghostbusters thing. Okay, this Ghostbusters Afterlife, yeah? Again, we're talking about the afterlife, the resurrection after you've died, the afterlife. And this is, a lot of people I think they're calling this like the third part of the actual proper Ghostbusters trilogy, rather than the blip that was there with the I don't know what version you'd call that. I've not even seen it. People said it was so bad I haven't even bothered to watch it. So with the female version of Ghostbusters. This was interesting. This is the trailer for it. It's coming out on the 18th of November. So we have the 111 and the 8 again, the 1118, which is in the chart of Lorraine. And I just saw this in the corner of one of the trailer clips for it, and I'm like, wowzers. That reminds me so much of the Space Needle, because if you've looked at old pictures of the Space Needle, where do I have there we go, old colors of the Space Needle, we got this orange and white, yeah. And if you look at this tower that they've got here, it's even got, it looks to me like it, well, maybe it doesn't have 3 sets of legs. I don't know. It kind of looks like it's got a set of legs here, a set of legs on the far side, and a set of legs here. So it's like it's got 3 legs with the same ladder effect. Of course, I can't really tell from this picture, but I'm guessing that's what it looks like. Which is your 3 legs with your ladder coming up here. And again, this is the Trilon, yeah. This is the 3 sides of the Trilon with the perisphere at the top, right? This is the moon, the ball at the top that drops. You know, like on the rebirth of the year, New Year's in in Times Square when that ball drops and the needle shoots through the ball, right? This is the same thing. I mean, if this thing was to collapse, I could imagine just this ring, the donut ring, dropping down over the top of this, and sort of, it'd be fun if it kind of got half wedged there or something, with this thing sitting there. That would be a big story. But the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of the references that are to do with this um, overlap with the Hoover Dam. This is how I got watching Jurassic Liars to begin with. Was he had a lot of references that I was seeing the same references for what I thought was the Hoover Dam. So a lot of these things interchange. And if you look at the Hoover Dam scene in Back to the Future, what I call is the hoverboard scene, right at the start of that, when he robs the hoverboard from the girl, you could look at her and she's got the disc on her head, she's got the green skirt on for the evergreen of Washington State. So there's a lot of little references there, and also she has the handlebar that comes off there is 3 into 1. Yeah, it's got the 3 legs into 1, and it happens to have a 1/8 right stuck in the middle of it, which is also a V. That's a video for another day, but you've got the 1/8 that's stuck in the V there as well. So there's a whole, I mean, there is absolutely tons of layers, but it all comes back down to the same thing. This ball, the needle shooting through the eye of the axe head, yeah, with Odysseus, yeah, and it's the same. Here it is. Here's the I was trying to think what was in this. I didn't put that in there. That's just but this is the perisphere in the Trilon, which other people have gone on about, and it's referenced in several other things that I haven't even talked about, music videos and stuff. Just don't have time to do all these videos. But here it is. The blooming moon and man stood next to it. I mean, that's what that means. Mankind, should I say, yeah? And we just use the upright, it means the phallus, it means the whatever, but we just use the dominant, we use the male. I say the dominant, it's a 50-50 thing, but that's what we use, okay, to represent mankind, all right? And so here it is, reality right there. Now, I think that's it. Have I missed anything out of that? I've got to think for just 1 second. Yeah, we did the daylight savings. We did that little tidbit of information there, and that's it really. I don't think there's anything else to say on it. I think I'll just leave it at that. I don't think I even want to waffle anymore. Let's just leave it at that and just do a kind of short video. So I hope you appreciate that it's a fairly short video. I will catch you on another video, I'm sure. Whenever I get a minute, I'll do another one on someone else. There's a ton of stuff to cover. I don't know if people get fed up with this stuff, but I think it's interesting anyway. All right. Thanks for watching, and cheers. See you later. Bye.